Om Sri Sai Ram. With the abundant grace of our beloved Bhagawan, Sri Sathya Sai Baba Varu, we, the Sathya Sai Seva organizations, Tamil Nadu, Chennai Metro South, are privileged to host this evening a Satsang on significance of Sivarathri by our beloved and respected Sri Anil Kumar Sairam Sir. We place on record our gratitude and grateful thanks from the depth and breadth of our heart to Sri Anil Kumar Sairam Sir for accepting our invite to give this satsang. Before Sri Anil Kumar Sairam Sir commences his speech, Sri Varadan Sairam Sir, former state president of Sri Sathya Sai Seva organizations, Tamil Nadu, presently the trustee Sri Sathya Sai Trust, Tamil Nadu, and convener Sri Sathya Sai Books and Publication Trust, will give the introductory address. When Sri Anil Kumar Sairam Sir completes his speech, Sri BRC Sairam, Bala Ramachandran Sairam will do the summing up and present the concluding remarks. Then Swami's Mangala Arati video will be shown by the admin. With this, I welcome everyone, offering our humble salutations to all of you to this online satsang. Now, on behalf of all of us, I invite Sri Varadan Sairam Sir to give the introductory remarks. Sairam Varadan Sir, kindly take over, please.
Om Sri Sai Ram. I, on my own behalf and behalf of everyone attending this online satsang by Professor Anil Kumar Kamaraju, offer our humble, loving and reverential pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Swami. Sai Ram to you all. At the outset, I thank the organizers of Chennai South District for having given me the opportunity of giving the introductory address in this satsang. As we all know that Professor Anil Kumar Kamaraju needs no introduction at all, as there is none in this Sai world not knowing or not aware of him. But to comply with the protocol, this introductory address. Professor Anil Kumar is known for translating Swami's discourses into English. He also gives very popular talks about Swami and his teachings in Prasanthi Nilayam, as well as in many Sai centers in India and abroad. In fact, sharing his experiences has become his passion and full-time profession post-retirement. After receiving his education and also lecturing for many years in Andhra Christian College, Guntur, he has been the principal of the Brindavan campus of Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning in Whitefield. Subsequently, he served in the Prasanthi Nilayam campus as a faculty member in the Department of Biochemistry till the year 2012. In addition, Professor Anil Kumar has authored a huge number of books on Bhagawan Baba, the famous among them being the Satyopanishad series, which is a conversation between him and the Lord. He is an inspiration to one and all through his talks, which are full of wisdom and humor. In his own words, I quote, "Well, I was the state president of Sathya Sai organization in Andhra Pradesh. And as a person holding this important office, I used to attend the World Council meetings. One year, it so happened that Sai Baba convened a meeting of the members of the World Council in the Mandir. Suddenly, he needed an interpreter. And since I come from Andhra Pradesh, where Telugu is spoken, he immediately picked me out and asked me to translate. At the end of the talk, Swami just said, "Oh, fast, very fast." And that was that, and no opportunity presented itself to act as interpreter again for some time. In 1989, I was appointed as the principal of the Sathya Sai Baba College in Whitefield, the Vrindavan campus. And since that time, I have been the regular interpreter, I quote, unquote. Since the attendees are very anxiously waiting to listen to Professor Anil Kumar Kamaraju sir, I request him to deliver his valuable talk on the significance of Sivarathri. Over to you, Professor sir. Jai Shri Ram.
My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our most beloved Bhagawan and loving Sai Ram to everyone who are associated with this program and who are following this evening's proceedings. I am very thankful to Sridhar and his associates, some of his friends who invited me to talk to you. It's a matter of great pleasure to talk to the state of Tamil Nadu for more than one reason. One, Tamil Nadu is a state of culture, tradition, and devotion. And my sincere feeling is if Indian culture is surviving abroad, it is because of this Tamil culture which has been maintained over there by our own immigrants. So I'm very proud of you for all your tradition and culture. And above all, I very well remember my visit to Chennai, and Swami was so kind that he has shown me every room there in Sundaram. He asked me, Anil Kumar, is this your first visit? I said, yes. I was serving as the state president at that time. And then he looked deep into my eye and said, where are you staying? I said, Swami, I'm staying in Madras University guest house. No guest house, come here, he said. Swami, I kept my luggage there. What am I doing? Several people will bring, come on, you stay here. Then I stayed there, and Bhagawan said, I'll show you this Sundaram. And he started showing me every room. And as I know, there are steps and again steps and again steps like that, not straight like that. And as Swami was taking me there from one height to next, there was one several man well dressed with scarf, and he asked him, Ungala per enna? What is your name? He said some name. What are you doing? He said, I am professor, mechanical engineering, Gindi Engineering College. He looked at me like that. Then we climbed few steps. There's another man with wearing scarf. What is your name? He said, son, what are you doing? Swami, I'm a professor, electrical engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. And then he went another Savadar, what are you doing? Swami, I'm some motor transport director. Oh, I see. And then finally, Swami looked deep into my eye and said, do you have this class of people in Andhra Pradesh? Do you have this class of people in Andhra Pradesh? I was serving as the state president. Can I say no? I'll be putting my own people to shame. Shall I say yes? No. The answer is no. What am I to do? Then I said, Swami, Andhra Pradesh gives importance to the devotion, Swami, not qualification, I said. Oh, knack answer, knack. And then he took me to the top and he has shown me his room. And then there's some veranda there, some corridor there near Swami's room, sitting room over there. He took me there. There is Jula there. Anil Kumar, how do you like this Jula? Very nice, Swami. Huh? You like it? But still I'm not satisfied, Swami. No? Why? Unless you sit, I cannot appreciate it, Swami. Oh, I see. Then Swami said, how do you? Still I'm not satisfied, Swami. Why? I should do that. I should Jula, I should make you see. Then come on, do it. And we had. Really, my visit to Chennai is very fresh in my memory. And then there was a table where there were sweets. Italian sweets, I believe. And Swami said, Anil Kumar, take one seat there. No, Swami, no. Hey, sweets? Italian, why don't you take? Swami, we can buy sweets from outside. If you give me, it is prasad, or else it is some sweet shop, Swami said. Then he got up and gave me 2 sweets. Come on, that's a lovely, lovely thing. And I also very well remember Swami taking me to Abbotsbury, where meeting was held, huge meeting, and the Chennai people did it in a wonderful way. They kept huge screens on all sides. When Swami was coming in, all could see him. Swami looked at me and said, do you have this arrangement in Andhra Pradesh? Do you have this? Swami, this is the place of studios. So they could have, how can we have? Certainly, it's okay. And then we sat there on the dais. Janaki was the singer at that time, and she sang songs, same song, in all the languages. First stanza in original Telugu, translation Tamil, translation Kannada, like that. Swami said, see what kind of artist she is. I enjoyed that company. And I enjoyed Swami's company there at Anjali Devi's house. At Anjali Devi's house, Swami saw me there in Sundaram. I was feeling a little inconvenient with the food because I am a fellow with very much used to pickles, hot pickles. They did not serve any pickles. What am I to do? Swami noticed my embarrassing situation. And third day he said, don't worry, tomorrow we are going to Anjali's house. You will have enough of pickles, he said. Okay, Swami. We went to Anjali's house there. And there, Anjali was ready to serve sambar immediately. Swami said, stop there. Don't you have pickles? Yes, Swami. Serve them. Ayyo, Swami, do you eat pickles? Anil Kumar, he will eat. Bring for him, he said it. How can I forget that? Really, I feel like crying when I think of those beautiful moments in my life, which I am sure I would not get it again. Impossible. Such a kind of treatment he has given me. And there only I was booked. And Anil Kumar, come on, would you come to my college as the principal? He said. Swami, are you ready to come? Well, I simply jumped from the corner of room to his feet. Swami, what more I want in this life? Come on. Though I said the heartbeat increased after lunch, I know how difficult it is to serve Swami directly under him. It is like walking on the edge of this sword. It's walking across the fire. It's not an easy thing. I know many people who returned being unsuccessful there. So I know that. So why should I say yes to Swami? Why has he booked me like that? I was feeling like that, tossing on the bed, this side and that side, after lunch. And then Swami was leaving Chennai, back to Puttaparthi. And then Swami looked at me and said, come on, May 5th is good. It is Panchami, you can come and report. How to escape from that? Then I said, Swami, I have not brought my original certificate, Swami, my degrees, and said, hey, what do you think? I'm the chancellor. I don't want any degrees. Come and join. Then I, Swami, I should apply for leave. I served there in that college for 26 years, so Swami, I should apply for leave and fulfill some formalities to come. What formalities? When are they going to open? Swami, July 1st. Our college is open on June 1st. You join here. So he didn't give me even breathing time and put me there. So Chennai has got deep into my memory because it was the place where I was pinned to Swami's institution, glued to Swami's institution. Well, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to them. My hats off to all the Tamil Nadu devotees who attended that Nagar Sankirtan in the early hours of the morning. Thousands, the whole area being dark and lights focused on Swami. While Swami was moving on the lotus, waving his hand into the empty air, wearing the red robe. Swami was so beautiful. But then I wore that day a special dress. It is my convention practice to show my new dress first to Swami and then wear it later. There in Vrindavan, we had students from all different areas. We had one student by name Ajay Rana from Punjab. You remember that? At Ajay Rana, they stand in some Bhangra dance in Vrindavan. I like that dress, long and all. I called Ajay Rana, hey, dress seems to be nice. Sir, you liked it? Yes, very nice. Believe me, I got it by Korea next morning. I kept it, then I wore it to Sundaram to show it to Swami. But I did not dare to wear that. Whether Swami likes it or not, I do not know. Suppose in the very first sight he doesn't like it, then Seva fellows ready to transport me either to the airport or to the bus station or railway station, ready. I don't want to give them trouble like that, put myself to risk. Then I said, Swami, this is a new dress. I should show it to you, Punjabi dress. Swami looked at me from top to bottom. Shall I tell you how you look? Yes, Swami. You look like Pakka Punjabi lorry driver. Pakka Punjabi lorry. I think that was the first and the last time I wore it. Because I know that he didn't like it. I remember that. I also remember Swami's visit. The Sundaram finances, their factory Swami. Swami went to their house. Yes. The Krishna Rama doctor, their father, Swami was invited to their. Swami went there. And then that morning, there in Sundaram, Swami comes to me and tells me, Anil Kumar, eat less breakfast. Keep some space there. We are going to Raman's house. They are Iyengars. Wonderful Puliyodharai. Excellent Pongal. Keep some space, he said. Swami, I'll keep it 3/4 vacant, Swami. Oh, I see. So we went there, and I have seen Swami, how he conducts himself as an ideal guest. Given the chance, is Swami willing? We'll have other occasions to talk to you. Swami as an ideal leader, Swami as an ideal guest, Swami as an ideal host. There are different facets of Swami. But most unfortunately, our people are so busy to speak their own experiences and the miracles they experienced, though this time is not appropriate for such narrations, because the present generation has not met Swami. They have not been exposed to Swami's message. They have not experienced him. Now, if I tell everybody Swami gave me this ring, the fellows will feel I can buy from Kalyan jewelry. Why is he showing like that? Joy Lucas is it from Kerala only? Why is it? So the youngsters don't like if I go on showing my rings and chains because they have not seen Swami. Suppose I told this is the watch Swami gave us. I got HMT watch. Why? Yes, why? Therefore, it is time that we put a full stop to the narration of personal experiences unless they carry some message with them. If your narration of experience carries a message, most welcome. What message? How you are transformed, how your life has taken a paradigm shift, a total change from the past, how you have influenced your colleagues in the office, how actively you are participating in the organized activities. These are very, very important. So it is in that connection, I started speaking more and more of Sai's message, having spoken on his miracles for 30 long years. 30 long years. After Swami left, then I could realize that I should update myself and keep myself abreast of the times if I am to be acceptable to the audience. So I'm very happy to recall, to bring back to my memory of our visit to Chennai, the Sundaram, the most befitting name. And last thing I'll add you, just having spent with him around 50 years, having served right under his nose for 30 years, how can I limit myself unless Balaram Chandra says, sir, we'll call you again, plus leave it as the stage. So I'll go on like that. What am I to do? Because association is that long, quite intimate. I'm very grateful to Swami for having taken me to Kodaikanal quite a number of times. This I'll tell you. Somehow Swami tests people. He likes to test people, while the test is a torture to all of us. There was one convener, Nilagiri Hills, Sachidanandam. Somehow Swami was upset with Sachidanandam. I don't know. Sachidanandam, Jogarao, and we were all roommates in Kodaikanal. Poor Sachidanand, a very great devotee, par excellence. He was crying every day because Swami is not speaking to him. I was feeling very sorry. I was waiting for a chance to bridge the gulf, waiting for a chance. Believe me, sir, I am speaking in front of Swami's picture. I am aware of the divine presence, so I am speaking truth, not less than that, in letter and spirit. Next morning, Swami said, Anil, ee poddu evaru maatladtaru? Who is this poddu meaning evening in Rayalaseema? Who is the speaker this evening? I said, Swami, Sachidananda. No, wait, why Sachidananda? How do you know? I mean, Sachidananda is a good speaker. And how do you know? Swami, many people say that his authority on the subject, Sharanagati, surrender, Swami. How do you know? Some our boys told me. All right, call him. Then I just gave signal, come on. He came from behind and then I should fall at his feet. Immediately fell at his feet. Swami looked that side. Go and speak. So first, some kind of patchwork is done. And then Tamil New Year approached there. When Tamil New Year approached, Swami, who will speak today? Swami, Sachidananda. Swami said, are you mad after Sachidananda? Are you mad after him? Why do you say Sachidananda again? No, Swami. He spoke very well the other day. How do you know? You don't know Tamil. Why do you say he speaks well? No, Swami. We take boys every morning round that lake for a walk. And the boys were speaking among themselves. That Sachidananda lecture was very nice, Swami. Not only that, Swami, I saw some villagers pass by and they were also enjoyed Sachidananda lecture. You speak, Swami. I always speak. There's nothing new about it. But this being Tamil Nadu, better a Tamilian speaks in Tamil, this being the Tamil New Year. So as to be understood by all villages who have come from the vicinity and the neighborhood. Point. Call him. And then he came at his feet and Swami said, Sachidananda, you speak now. Believe me, I felt more happy than Sachidananda himself. So my role was to see everything is peaceful, all are happy, and the Tamil New Year, I wear new dress, new suit, ash color. Swami saw that and said, hey, what is it you are in new suit? Why? I saw it Tamil New Year. Tamil New Year, you are a Telugu fellow. Why that? You are from Andhra. Why new? Swami, Tamil New Year, Gujarat New Year, whatever may be. Everything belongs to Prashantalaya. I am a resident in Prashantalaya. We observe all important occasions. New Year of any state. Then he said, Indula also was there, Srinivasa was there, all top people were there. Kalwantarao was there. And then Swami said before everybody, I know. You know that Swami will ask you to translate my talk. He will ask you to translate. And you want everybody to see your new suit. I know. He said, Swami. No, I know that. And then he said, hey, I can speak Tamil fluently better than Tamilians. You know that? I have been visiting Chennai right from the age of 14. I know every street in Chennai. I can speak in Tamil. So no translation. Okay, Swami, no problem. No, how about your suit? Others should see your suit. I can understand. And then Swami said, today we will have two translations. Major General Mahadevan will translate into Tamil and you will translate English. True translation there in Kodaikanal. There is also an event unforgettable in my life. So when I think of Tamil Nadu, our visit to Kodaikanal, our visit to Madurai, our visit to Chennai, all flash. And Swami, as he goes to Kodaikanal, he stops in places like Dindigal, or be that Salem, or Namakkal, something like that, where boys serve food and all. Let's see, Swami, see how our boys are doing, how nice. He feels very proud of them. Okay, now, thank you very much for bearing with me, for bringing to your notice my memories and memoirs, or sweet lifetime reminiscences. I'm so glad about it. So I thank the whole state of Tamil Nadu for their excellence. The Balavikas programs staged by Tamil Nadu ranks number 1 even today. Is a record, number 1. Therefore, my appreciations, congratulations, felicitations to all your members. At the same time, my hearty greetings to everybody on the eve of Maha Sivarathri to come. Maha Sivarathri to come. It was in the year 72, I heard first time Swami's talk on Sivarathri. First time. Because Swami said, there was an announcement by Professor V.K. Gokak, who said, there will be Swami's discourse this evening at 5. Believe me, I went there at 2:30 in the afternoon to sit in the first row. I sat there. Then praying within myself, Swami, people say you are an eloquent speaker. Let me listen to your talk. Swami, people say you sing melodiously. Well, let me sing your song, Swami. And Swami gave that talk. At the end, he sang one bhajan, Swami, one more. Oh, he sang, Swami, one more. Swami, no more. I don't want to tire you. Then he stopped. Brahmo Samaj follows the Upanishadic teaching in letter and spirit. So I was thinking, what is it? Brahmins don't believe in Rama and Krishna. How is it I am running after Sathya Sai Baba, human being? How is it? After listening to his talk, I tell you, Swami's teachings and Brahma Samaj teachings are one and the same. Are one and the same, because he started explaining the depth of every name of Lord Seva. Then I thought, poor Brahmo Samaj fellows don't know what it is, therefore they differed. Let them know. Now I can say confidently, I am a better Brahmo today after coming to Bhagawan Sri Sathya Baba. Though my wife is highly traditional even today. She is highly traditional. She follows all rituals. She fasts every day. She does worship every day. But we are running parallelly. This Brahmo way of life, the Hindu way of life, democracy at home, in practice. We just completed only as on today 56 years of happy married life. 56 years. So Swami blessed that democracy prevailing at home. Now, let me take a clue from his discourse that he delivered there in the 1972 in Vrindavan. Well, it looked like that. Excuse me if I say a few sentences in Telugu to bring that flavor, that touch of Swami's discourse. శివరాత్రి అనగా ఏమి? శివరాత్రి అనే అనేకమైనటువంటి అభిషేకములు చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. శివరాత్రి అనేకమైనటువంటి పూజలు పురస్కారములు చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. కానీ ఈ శివరాత్రి యొక్క అర్థమేమి, అంతరార్థమేమి అని మీకు తెలియజేస్తారు. People perform so many rituals and abhishekas, so many types of pujas on the occasion of Sivarathri. But let me explain to you the meaning of Sivarathri. Why should be observed, that I will explain. Swami said, wow, wonderful. And then he started speaking like that. What do you mean by, he said, first sentence, Rama's name will have prefix Sri, Sri Rama. Krishna's name has prefix Sri Krishna, but no one says Sri Shambho, Sri Shankara, Sri Seva. Why Sri to Rama and Krishna? Why not to Seva? Rama had a human form. Krishna had a human form. To sanctify the whole personality, Sri is added to them. But Seva is not human. He has no form. Therefore, Sri is not added. That's what Baba said. Wow! That nameless, formless, beginningless, endless divinity is the healing faith of Brahmos. So I am bowed first shot, finished. I started shedding tears. What fools they are, they have not understood who Swami is. That's what I was feeling. And then Swami started telling, Shiva has no form. Started explaining, what is his name? His name is Shankara. Shankara anaga, Sham anaga Shubhamulanu, Kara anaga Chekurchuvaadu. Samastamainattundi Mangalamulanu Jeevitamaku Andinchuvaadu Shankarudu. Shankara means Sham, auspiciousness. Kara, who grants you, bestows on you all that is auspicious to happen in your life. So all things are auspicious in our life because of blessings of Lord Sham Kara. Sham auspicious, Kara the giver. Wow, yeah, what explanation. And then he also said, what is the other name of Shiva? This I am recalling and just talking to you extempore because I remember all that. Yes, and second thing he said, what is the other name of Shiva? People say Shivam, Shivam. What is Shiva? Shiva meaning the very, that which is Shubham, that which is good, that which is blissful. That's what Shivam is. Shivam is Mangalam and Shivam is Prema. That's what he said. So when I say pray to Lord Seva, meaning Shivam, yes, full of goodness, I should be full of love. That's what Shivam is. And then Swami said, what is the other name of Shiva? He went on telling 1, 2, 3 like that. The other name of Shiva is Digambara. Digambara. In the ordinary sense, we know Digambara means the one who is naked. Naked, Digambara. But Swami tells, Yeni, that's not that. Dik, the poles, Ambara, umbrella. The 4 east, west, north, south are the poles. Ambara, the canopy, the umbrella above him, that is Digambara. Tell me, sir, who explained those things? I leave this place immediately and follow you. There are none who can explain like that, other than Bhagawan, Sri Sathya Baba, Digambara. And then said, Kamahari. Kamahari. What do you mean by Kamahari? Kama is a lust or desire. And Shiva sees to it that you will be desireless. He'll be desireless. Oh, I see. So if you pray to Shiva, oh Lord Shiva, make my son go abroad. Oh Lord Shiva, at least give me some promotion. That won't do. That won't do. He is not there to fulfill your desires. Shiva is there to make you desire free. Kama Hari. He will see that you will be desireless. Oh, wow. So when you are desireless, what is the other name of Lord Shiva? Mrityunjaya. Mrityu meaning death. Jaya, the conqueror of death. There is no death. So you will be a Mrityunjaya. You will be Mrityunjaya for that matter if you have no desire. So desirelessness is Mrityunjaya. That's what he said. So thus he was explaining. And then he also said, what is the other name of Shiva? Ardhanarishwara. Meaning half man and half woman. Swami said, how awful it is. If it were to be true, can you look at a person half man and half woman? Illa. That is not the correct one. Half man, half woman, meaning Parvati part is matter, Shiva part is energy. The whole universe is a combination of matter and energy. That is Satya Sai Baba. What an explanation it is. I should tell you a small miracle that I experienced in Vrindavan. I was given chance every day to press his feet because I was the only fellow staying there. And you know the anklets they wear to the feet, you know, anklets? Anklets, sir, you know, in Tamil Nadu people wear that. So I could see anklet to his right leg and not to the left leg. That anklet not in the jewel form, print. If this specs, it will leave its print. Likewise, when you wear the anklet, there will be some print, some mark there. I could see that. Then I ventured to lift the other leg. Dhoti, lifted. It was plain, no mark. Swami, Eve, what? Where have you lost that anklet? You must have lost somewhere, Swami, giving darshan to all these people. Swami? What a fool you are. Don't you know that Shiva is Ardhanarishwara? This part is Parvati, this part is Shiva. So, Parvati had this anklet and Parvati and Shiva won't have anklet. So when you say this part has no anklet, meaning what? It is Shiva's better half. There is anklet here. It is of Parvati. This I saw personally. Swami explaining it. Wonderful, wonderful. And then he started explaining of Shiva's family. Many devotees come to me. They go on telling Swami, my husband is not listening to me. My daughter is not listening to me. My son is not listening to me. What am I to do, Swami? Then I tell them, Amma, Shiva family is like that. Not only your family, Shiva's family is also like that. This is said in the open public meeting. If you have the cassettes, you can listen to them. What he said was this. Where does she stay? Parvati? Kailash. Lord Shiva, where does he stay? Burial ground. How about Parvati? Full of jewels. Wow, full of jewels. How about Shiva? Digambara. No jewelry, nothing whatsoever. And then Parvati writes on the tiger. How about Shiva? Bull. See what difference it is. He has got this vermilion, kumkum and all that, and all the turmeric, whereas Shiva has got only vibhuti, paramam pavitram bhava vibhuti. But what sort of difference between the two? And then if you look at his son Savade, one son as the head of an elephant, Vinayaka. And then there is the tiger, the vehicle, the chariot is the mother. If elephant dreams of a lion, it will die there. So the chariot is the mother and the face of the sun don't go together. So, rivalry. Then what are the things that you find with Kumaraswamy? Yes. What is chariot? Peacock. Oh, I see. What is that Seva wears on his neck? Snakes. Snakes and peacock don't go together. Snakes and peacock won't go together. The elephant and the tiger won't go together. Mother stays there, father stays there, well decorated, high all jewels, latest fashion, where daddy is just the Gambara naked. So the Swami was explaining. All right, let us look at Shiva, how he is. He has water there, Ganga, and here fire, opposite. Even his personality opposites, what to do? So fire here, water over there. So there is no, what you call, no balance. There is nothing like a uniformity for agreement. Just opposite. But Shiva's family is an ideal family. Shiva's family is an ideal family. Adi Dampatulu, the first couple. Parvati, Parameshwara, their first couple. Therefore, Amma, don't worry that your son is not listening to you. And Ganesh never heard his father. And his mother also, I told you. So even Shiva's family is full of controversies. Why do you worry about your family? That's what Baba said. I very well remember, humor is Bhagawan. Humor is Bhagawan. After having come to Swami, I have realized one thing. A long Shakespearean face, an oily face, to quote Baba, castor oil face, is no religion at all, is no spirituality at all. It is dull-headed. It is sickness, I tell you. Seriousness is sickness. Laughter, ecstasy, dance, music, bliss is religion. You never see Swami with a long face. On the other hand, he said, I will not pass by that route where serious fellows are seated there. I want everybody to smile. I don't want to go that way. No, no, no. Be happy, Ra. Be happy. That's what Swami says. Therefore, Swami's message is to be happy, to make everybody around us happy. And then God will be happy. That's why he says 3 times, happy, happy, happy. Happy within yourself. Second, happy with the community. Then God will be happy. That is Shiva's message. And then Swami speaks of other name of Shiva, Trinetrancha. He has got 3 eyes. Do you come across anybody with 3 eyes? No. If anyone says that I have got 3 eyes, can you look deep into his eyes? Impossible. What are these 3 eyes? Swami tells us, one eye is the sun, other eye is the moon, the center one is fire. The center one is fire, that is inner eye, the inner eye, the eye of wisdom. That's what Trinetrancha. See that, how wonderfully explains that. And then Swami goes on speaking another point. As he said earlier, Ardhanarishwara. Therefore, Swami is called Shiva Shaktyatma Swarupa. Shiva Shaktyatma Swarupa. Combination of Shiva and Shakti. A combination of matter and energy. That's what he is. Swami, Shiva will do why Parvati? Shiva is most powerful. Most powerful, why Parvati? Swami said, can you make pot without clay? Can you make jewel without gold? And what nonsense you speak. Parvati is the matter. Shiva is the water, making the pot. That is of creation. That is universe. So universe is the combination and the result of both the matter and energy. And further Swami explains this way. Sun, sunlight. Sun is Shiva, sunlight is Parvati. Wow, what an explanation. Can there be sunlight without sun? What is the use of sun without sunlight? The purpose of sun is to shed light. The light has got sun as the origin. So sun is Shiva, the light is Parvati, inseparable, they are together, that Swami said. And he further said, can you expect the ocean without a wave? Wave is the Parvati, ocean is Shiva. Wow, wow, wow. It is said long time back, Upama Kalidasasya. It was Kalidasa who is known for these similes. Simile is a figure of speech. So, full of figures of speech, Kalidasa made. Later in history, people said, Upama Ramakrishnasya. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa made a number of similes like that. And today, Baba stands for Upama Alankara. Baba, number of similes, number of examples that even a hopeless fellow would be able to understand him. Because Bhagavan is not meant for few. Bhagavan is not meant for few intellectuals. Bhagavan is not meant for scholars or those that know Veda only. No, no, no. He is meant for everybody. From a pauper to a millionaire, to illiterate, to a scholar, to a scientist, to a pandit, to everybody, to an old man and an youngster. So Swami's message is meant for people of all ages, people of all religions, people of different levels of awareness, different levels of understanding. And this is the beauty. He satisfies all of them at the same time. At the same time. Go and ask an old woman, Grandma, how is Swami's speech? Oh, very nice. I see. And if you ask a scholar, Sir, how is Swami's speech? This interpretation nobody gave Anil Kumar. Oh. If you ask youngsters, Sir, how is Swami's? Sir, full of enthusiasm, sir, full of dynamism, sir, full of vitality, full of So each finds a message separately designed for them. That is the uniqueness of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. And then Bhagavan said another reference to another one. Ekadasha Rudra. Ekadasha Rudra. Meaning there are 11 forms of Rudra. Rudras are 11. Swami made a pun on it. Language waits there to come out, You should not face Rudra. Rudra is very ferocious. But I want you to be Bhadra, safe and secure. You can be Bhadra, safe and secure. Don't put yourself to Rudra, the ferocious. Then why is it said Ekadasha Rudra, 11 Rudras? Come on, sir. These things must be brought to the notice of the modern generation. It should be brought to the notice of all youngsters and youth of this country. Then only the organization will have some future. We cannot simply speak of our own selves, blow our own trumpet. Enough is enough. Let us speak of his message, which is eternal, immortal, nectarine, blemishless, which is applicable across the universe. That's what Bhagavan is. Ekadasha Rudra. 11 Rudras. What are they? Rudra is ferocious. Rudra will make you suffer. Eka, one Rudra is enough to suffer. We have 11 Rudras. What to do? Swami explains this way. 5 are karmendriyas, the senses of action. 5 are jnanendriyas, the senses of perception. 5 plus 1, 10. 11 is your mind. Is your mind 11? Ekadasha Rudras. So man is put to suffering. Man suffers because of Ekadasha Rudras, the senses of action and senses of perception and monkey mind. The monkey mind is there already. What kind of mind is monkey mind? Which is intoxicated, that overstepped on the fire, that will make our life more miserable. That's what Bhagavan said. And then what Swami said this. If you look at the whole universe, what is it? It is nothing but cosmic dance, celestial dance, Sivatandava. Sivatandava meaning the cosmic dance, the celestial dance. That's what Bhagavan said about it. And then Swami said, Lord Shiva has 4 faces, Four. I see. The first is Shantam, equanimity, first phase. The second, Raudram, terror. Third, Mangalam, auspiciousness. And fourth, Utsaham, elevating energy. So the four faces of Shiva, they represent Shantam, Raudram, Mangalam, Utsaham. Tell me, sir, who can say no? Will Christians say no? Can Muslims say no? Will Muslims agree that their God has no Utsaham? And Christians, would they accept if I say that their God is not for any Mangalam or auspicious? That is secular, Swami. If India want to remain secular, they should follow Swami message. They should follow Sai gospel. They should follow Sai teachings in the strict sense. And then you also heard Tridalam, Trigunakaram, Trinetrancha, Trayayudham, Trijanma Papa Samharam, Yekabilvam, Sivarpanam. What does it mean? Yekabilvam, Trayayudham, Trigunam, three. Here he says Yekabilvam, how can you unify all the three? No, Swami says three represents past, present, and future. In the present is the past. Past was the foundation on which present is built. Present is the foundation for the future. So past, present, future, Ekabilvam Sivarpanam. All the three, O my Lord, I offer to you all my past actions, the fruits of all my actions, be that good or bad. Swami, I offer all that future that might happen, that might be awaiting any day, Bhagavan. That's what surrender is. That's how Swami explains. And then I should also let you know the other aspects. Shiva's full of heat, it seems. All Shiva bhajans are like that, full of heat. How do you know? Swami himself said. I have not touched Shiva, but Swami himself said it. What does he say? There is heat in you. I translate his talk. You can go through the cassettes. There is that heat in you. When that heat is to the maximum, all the metal in your body gets solidified. That gold is in you. That gold gets solidified. That's what Lingodbhava is. Lingodbhava is the solidification of gold within everybody because of terrific heat inside. See that? And then he says, this Lingodbhava happens in the case of everybody. You have Sivalingam in you, you do not know. Therefore, Swami bringing forth Sivalinga is just to let you know there is Sivalinga within everybody. That is Bhagavan. Show me one guru who speaks like that. They say it's all their exclusive, right? We are never inclusive. They always say exclusive. Swami, you can do it. You can do it. There is gold in you. There is heat in you. That's what Bhagavan said. And he has materialized and he has shown to everybody. And then I tell you what Swami says is, this is very important. Lingodbhavam. It only means Linga, emergence of Linga. It is advent of Bhagavan, God's avatarana. And second, Lingodbhava wants us to be watchful of our every step in our life. And Lingodbhava conveys the divine message to every one of us. And then Lingodbhava means every atom, every molecule, Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan, is full of divinity. So divinity pervades everywhere. Ishavasyamadagam sarvam yatkincha jagatyan jagat chena chektena bhunjida magruda kasya siddhanam. Satyam jnanam anantam brahma. Understand, you are that Satyam. You are that Jnanam. You are that Anantam. You are Brahma truly. That's what Bhagavan explains like that. And then Swami says, Linga has got another, Swami Says this way, Linga has got another name. That's what you call Sada Siva Lingam. Sada Siva Lingam, meaning what? Sada, eternal. Siva Lingam, eternal happiness, eternal bliss, eternal bliss. But in our world, it's not like that. If you are happy on Monday, we cry on Tuesday. It's not eternal. If you are happy, particularly old people, you know, if you meet old people, how are you? BP is shooting up, I see. I have not come here to know about your BP. I want you to know how happy you are. By speaking about BP, you are causing me to have my own BP. Realize it, that that's not the way. Happy, the Sada Sivam, the eternal happiness, the eternal bliss is Sada Sivam. And not only that, you will see there, Hillview Stadium, you find Lord Seva sitting like that, with his closed eyes, well-built personality. Wow, excellent. See, most of you must have seen that statue there in the studio. That is Jnana Lingam. Jnana Lingam meaning it stands for wisdom. Why should Shiva should close his eyes? While all gods are happy to open their eyes, can't he open his eyes? Why should he close the eyes? Meaning, go within, the spirit of inquiry, the path of vicharana. The true jnana is known to you, is brought to you by self-inquiry only. That single inquiry is possible when you keep your eyes closed. When you keep your eyes open, you are carried away by the diversity, multiplicity, plurality of the world. But when once you close your eyes, you find the unity in diversity. You find the darkness, Sivarathri darkness. And in the darkness, you find that the inner self, the light of the self, radiates. Radiates. That's what Sivarathri, what Bhagawan is, Jnana Lingam, Sada Siva Lingam. And then what is the message of Shiva? Jnana, what is this Jnana? Is it dualistic Advaita? Or is it Visishta Advaita, qualified non-dualism? Or is it non-dualism Advaita? What is Jnana of Shiva? Swami says this, Advaita Darshanam Jnanam. Advaita Darshanam Jnanam, meaning to find oneness is only Jnana. If you find two, you need to consult an ophthalmologist. Yes. You should not find two. Only one that exists, without the second. Ekameva Dvitiyam Brahma. There is no second. That is Jnana, as Bhagavan says it. And then, Swami, you said the 11th is mind. 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, mind. Why, Swami? I think never mind. Never mind. Why do you speak of the mind? Do you know what he said? Mananat iti manaha. The quality of the mind is to recollect, to recapitulate, to bring back to memory. You talk to senior citizens, sir, how are you? In 42, you know what happened? In 1950, when I was in the office, what? Mananat iti manana. We go back to the times and want you to listen to my own story. So, mananat iti manaha. It is the nature of the mind to recall, to recollect, to memorize. Therefore, this has to stop. This has to stop. Let the past be burnt, that's all, completely. Don't think of the future. Forget about it. Some people say, what will happen to you after 10 years? What will happen to me, sir, after 10 years? Nothing will happen, sir. The world will be better without you and me. World will be much better without you and me. Let's not worry what will happen after 10. Nothing will happen. Therefore, as Baba said, past is past. The future is uncertain. The present is omnipresent. The present is omnipresent. Therefore, live in the present. That is possible when you withdraw your mind. Because mind thinks of the past and the future. Mind is never in the present. If you are very comfortable in the house, you will say, The house owner may ask me to vacate this house. What will happen to me? Are you comfortable? Why are you worried? Oh, I say. Suppose you had very good meal. What is there tonight to eat? You are bothered about the supper. Lunch, when you have lunch, you are worried about the supper. When you have the supper, you are worried about the breakfast. So mind always thinks of the future. Mind always broods over the past. Forget both of them. Live in the present. That's what it is. Manomulam idam jagat. Mind is responsible for the whole of the jagat. Swami's explanation, see that. What is jagat? Jagat. Comes and goes. Jagat. That which comes and goes is jagat. Why do you worry about it? That's what Swami said on that. And then, wow. This Sivalingam has another name, what you call Atmalingam or Jyotirlingam. Ishwaralingam bhajare, Ishwaralingam bhajare. What a song it is. That is Jyotirlingam, the lingam of light, and the lingam of the self. Self is the lingam. We did not go to any temple. Self is the lingam, the self. Why? Lingam means a sign, a symbol. Liyate gamyam iti lingam. The whole universe emerged out of the lingam and goes back to the lingam. That is pralaya. Pralaya is nothing but the whole of the universe going back to lingam. Having originated out of it, being sustained by that, it goes back to the lingam. That's what it is. Therefore, Atmalingam, the lingam of the self. What is that self? Not selfish. Fish is better than selfish. That's what Swami says. I'm not referring to that selfish. What does Swami say? Self, the supreme, the cosmic self, the universal self, the Viswatma, the Paramatma. So if you limit to your individual self, that is Jivatma. If you just make it universal, it is Paramatma or Divyatma or Viswatma, whatever you may call it. Therefore, it is what you call Atmalingam, Jyotirlingam. You have to contemplate on that. Swami, why should there be bull in Shiva's temple? If that is removed, some more can stand there. Why that? Why bull? Does he not found any latest vehicles there? So many vehicles are available. Why this bull? Huh? Swami tells the right. It's not that. Watch the bull carefully. The bull will be looking at Lord Shiva, that's all. It doesn't move itself that way, this way. Fully focused, highly concentrated. And it is also said that all of us, when we go to Shiva temple, we should go behind the bull. We should not go in the middle between Shiva and the bull. We should go from behind. Why? Bull stands for Jivatma, the individual self, and Lingam is Paramatma. Who are you to come in between Jivatma and Paramatma? Who are you? That's why Swami says, I don't want any recommendations. I don't want any recommendations. My communication with devotees straight, heart to heart, love to love. That's what it is. So this bull, Nandi, has got its focused attention on the Lord. That's never diverted, that's never deviated. That is concentration of attention. Oh Swami, then what is the practice, Swami? It has got two horns and people keep their fingers and look at Shiva like that. Why, Swami? It only means the individual self to look at the cosmic self and find out the unity. Meaning, the observer is the observed. Experiencer is experienced. Wave is the ocean. Pot is the clay. Identity. Therefore, you have to look through the horns of the bull so that you will find the relationship between the individual self and also the cosmic self being one. Swami, I don't understand. You say both are one. How, Swami? Are a fool? Don't you understand that? It's good to be called a fool by Bhagawan. To me, it is Padma Shri title, to me. When he calls you Dunnapota, a bull, well, it is equal to Padma Vibhushan to me. I take it a compliment. When people are very happy when they look at Swami, when Swami looks at them, when he says you are a bull, what more you want? It is time to have, we should give treat to our relatives. When he calls you are a bull, why not? Bull means Nandi, what more you want? Therefore, here I should also bring to your notice another important point. Same Lord Shiva, Shiva Chaitanya, Shiva consciousness, just as the light out of the projector spreads different colors, projected on the screen a multi-color film. Similarly, the Shiva Chaitanya is in the form of so many colors on the screen. Light is same, projector is same, but on the screen, different forms. That's what it is. Swami calls it that way, the Jnana Marga, the path of wisdom. What wisdom? Is not collection of books. Is not earning degrees. No. Prajnanam Brahma, understand it. If anyone says, sir, I'm a PhD, therefore I'm Jnani, you are Ajnani. So long you say I, you are ignorant. When the I is gone, you are real Jnani. You can call yourself your Jnani when once that I is gone. And you don't call yourself because I is not there. I is not there. I is gone. Oh Lord, you, not I. You, not I. That should be the goal of Sivarathri, as I would like to draw your attention. Chandrasekhara, Chandrasekhara, moon there. The moon sheds. Oh, beautiful. Most of the films have that songs of the moonlight, you know. Moonlight, so cool and comfortable. Yeah. And here, poison, hala, hala. Hala, 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 hala. So poison here, moon over there. Why, Swami? Swami says this. Moonlight is spread everywhere. Poison is kept there in the throat. Likewise, spread all that is good in you and keep that bad, anything within yourself. Don't spread to everybody. Keep it yourself. Hala, hala, hala. Swallow all that bitterness and spread all that is good within you. Very good, Swami. Then why do you like snakes? Why so many snakes around your neck? Why? Alright. Shiva is not snake charmer. Snakes represent human beings. Beings are the snakes adorning his neck. That's what you have to understand. That's what Bhagawan said. And now he comes with a new beautiful point. Shiva is a very close friend of Kubera. Who is Kubera? President of International Monetary Fund. Yeah, very rich man. But where does Shiva live? Burial ground. Friend, richest man. Kubera, equal to at least 1 million Ambanis. Yeah, shall I say that way? Very rich man is his friend, but he lives there in that. Swami says, Shiva stands for Vairagya, renunciation or detachment, not affluent, no. Therefore, it's not the money that matters. It is awareness that counts. That's what Bhagavan has said. And here also Swami said another point. Samba Shiva. What do you mean by Samba Shiva? Sa plus Amba plus Shiva is equal to Samba Shiva. Huh? I was student of Telugu, but nobody told me this. Sa plus Amba plus Shiva. I see. What is Sa? Divinity. Who is Amba? Mother. Who is Shiva? Father. So, Divine Father, Divine Mother, Sa plus Amba plus Shiva. What? Even chemistry also won't suggest that formula. And then Swami says that Samba Shiva is equal to Sathya Sai Baba. Sathya Sai Baba. I is the mother, Baba is the father, Sathya is divine. So, Samba Shiva is equal to Sathya Sai Baba. That's what Swami said. Therefore, in some books it is written that Shiva has 5 faces. I said 4 faces. Some say 5 faces. What are they? Swami said that the 5 elements. Prithvi, Jalamu, Vayu, Agni, Akasham. All the 5 elements are the 5 faces of Krishna and of Shiva. And then we call Shiva as Bhutanatha. Bhutanatha. What do you mean by it? He is the Lord of all the created beings, of the entire creation. That we call him Bhutanatha. My friends, I'm afraid that I may make this night a Sivarathri by talking to you continuously like this. But I'm not able to control myself when I start speaking about Swami. There were many, many occasions in Vrindavan. Swami said, Anil Kumar, I'll make you speak tomorrow also. But for today, yes. Tomorrow you can speak. So he knows my weakness. Then I said, Swami, it is not my fault to speak like that. The fault lies in your message. It is Rasagola. It is Gulab Jam. Therefore, I like to speak on, I know. Laughing, he said, immediately gave me 2 laddus there in Vrindavan. Therefore, if one forgets one's own self while singing his glory or while speaking about him, by concentrating on the self, the supreme Atmalinga, the Jyotirlinga, well, you forget the time. When the time is forgotten, that is divinity. Why? Mind is the time. Child does not know the time. Mad fellow does not know the time. The fellow on bed with chloroform and all that does not know the time. So time comes into the picture where there is mind. Mind is the time. So Swami says, there is moon there with all the 16 Shodashakala. All are gone. Only one streak remains. So that only one streak of moon on the head of Shiva speaks of Amanaska, Manolaya, Manonashana, withdrawal of the mind and annihilation of the mind. That's what he said. I'm so glad, sir. I don't want to tire you more of Shiva and Sivarathri. I should prepare you for Sivarathri. That's what Swami says. Telisi Ramachintanachi. That's what Tyagaraja sang. Come on, sing the glory of God. Telisi, in full awareness, in full knowledge you do it. Therefore, it is the duty of all Sai devotees to know the depth of every occasion, of every festival, the depth. That's why in the morning you must observe Swami. Morning you will have all pujas there in the mandir. Evening, Swami discourse. Morning ritual, evening spiritual. The spirit of the ritual is spiritual. The spirit is given in the evening discourse, morning rituals are performed. Therefore, I'm so glad that you have given me the pleasure of going back to memory, 1972, of his divine discourse. I have no words to thank you adequately. My hats off to the great land of Tamil Nadu, and my special felicitations, compliments to every devotee over there, with a prayer and a submission that they should continue the same standard of excellence in the years to come. Thank you very much. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, sir, respected, our beloved Anil Kumar, sir. I have been asked to pick out and summarize key points. And let me tell you at the outset, I'm not going to even attempt that. Because what sir has spoken is the essence of the Shiva principle culled out from the discourses of Lord Shiva himself and expressed in his beautiful, inimitable style through Anil Kumar sir, who we have known and continue to know as the silver-tongued orator. Now, I can't resist mentioning this, but I know this is about sir's speech and not about sir. But I just can't hold myself from mentioning this. There are many ways in which sir gets introduced. But let me add to that by mentioning an introduction which I have heard during my student days in Vrindavan and subsequently Prashanti Nilayam and which I've also had an opportunity to witness in action. You know one thing about Anil Kumar sir? There are many speakers in the world, but he is one speaker who makes God laugh. You know, you will see Swami when he speaks, and then, you know, like he was today, and how he'd speak, you would see Swami laughing, and, you know, and there would be tears of joy rolling out of Swami's eyes. It's a sight which is etched in my mind, seated in that beautiful July and Trey Vrindavan. It's a sight for the gods to see. But then we got to see it. And, you know, Anil Kumar sir would become the instrument, the nimitta, who would actually make the Lord laugh. And when the Lord rejoices, the entire world rejoices. So I can't resist mentioning that. Like I said, I'm not going to attempt a summary, but I will attempt reflections which passed through my mind, flitted through my mind as I heard Anil Kumar sir speak today. Even when he spoke about the prelude of his association with Chennai, some of us may have thought that he's not got into the topic, but he actually had in my assessment. I'll tell you why. Because what did he speak about first? He came to Chennai and then he stayed with Swami. I was immediately reminded of a beautiful hymn we would sing in Bhagawan's presence, and we still sing today on the holy occasion of Sivarathri. Vishwanatashtakamidam punyam yat pate Shiva sannidho Shivalokam Shivena sahamodate. Vishwanatashtakamidam punyam yat pate Shiva sannidho Shivalokam Shivena sahamodate. What he spoke about in the first part as a prelude was exactly that. Shivalokam avapnoti. What else is Shivaloka other than the Sundaram where Bhagavan resided at that point of time? And Shivena saha modate. He talked about the blissful times that he spent with the Lord. So that for me was, I mean, can't have been a better prelude to this talk on the significance of Shivarathri. And the message I take away is that every single moment should be spent in the conscious awareness that we are in the presence of the Lord, who, like he said, is Dik Ambara. Sarvatat Panipadam, Sarvatokshi Shiromukam, Sarvatashtrutiman Loke, Tat Sarvamavarti Tishtati, which many times we've heard the Lord say and Sir himself translate. So living in that omnipresence of that Lord who is there everywhere, even now, if only we have the eyes to see it. That is the essence of Shivarathri, was one thought which went through the mind. He made a beautiful point about how we sometimes end up narrating experiences and unknowingly the narrator becomes the center point of the attention. And the small HIS, his story, becomes the center point of attention. So one message I take away from this is that it is not our story, his story, but the capital HIS story. Whatever experiences we narrate, there has to be a message out of that. Swami's message at the end of it, the narrator has to be forgotten, and the narration and the message has to be remembered. The narrator should be completely removed, and that I think is the message of Shivarathri, because it is to remove the I, like he said. It's just to remove the mind, the personality, the persona, which is the body-mind complex, and that is the message of Shivarathri, which he beautifully conveyed when Sir said that it's not about my experience with the Lord, it's not about me, it's not about what Swami gave me, but it's about the message. The Lord should be remembered, the message should be remembered, the messenger should be forgotten. In fact, if the messenger is not remembered, you have done your job as a messenger, is one thing which I take away. When Sir spoke about Shivam, I was reminded, if my memory serves me right, Bhagawan very aptly chose the holy Maha Shivarathri day to release the first edition of Satyam Shivam Sundaram. And if I remember right, in his address, Bhagawan made a beautiful point. Bhagawan says that the word Satyam Shivam Sundaram is a very apt title for his story, because he said that he resides in all of us as Satyam Shivam Sundaram. And to justify that, Bhagawan said, if somebody calls you a liar, will you like it? Even if you're a person who lies routinely? No, because your real nature is Satyam, or the truth. If somebody says you're inauspicious, will you like it? No, because your real nature is auspiciousness, Shivam. And even if you feel other people feel you're ugly and you look ugly, would you like it if somebody calls you ugly? No, because your real nature is beauty. And Bhagavan said, I reside in you, I express myself through you as Satyam Shivam Sundaram. I was reminded about that when Sir was speaking. And what can I say about the beautiful example that he gave when he reminisced what Bhagawan would say about the Shiva family and all those contradictions. The lion and, the tiger and the elephant, the snake and the rat and the peacock, the water, and you have the fire, the ornaments and the lack of it. How beautifully he described the Kailasa and the Rudrabhumi. And I think as I was listening to him, I felt that this applies not just to the family which we think of as our family, but to Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, the larger family, the Sathya Sai organization as a family. We may have our contradictions, we may have our differences, but at the end of it, I think what we'll remember is that we are one. There is unity in the diversity. Despite our apparent differences, it is possible to coexist under the umbrella of the Lord, the Dik of the Lord, who's the canopy of this entire cosmos. Sir embodies this, and he mentioned this. He talked about how seriousness the sickness and how Swami would talk about it. I remember when Kasturi sir was introduced by Bhagawan himself during, as a prelude to his talk in the summer course, Bhagawan took the mic to everybody's surprise and introduced Kasturi sir. Kasturi sir records this in Loving God. And Bhagawan says, now our Kasturi will dance. And everybody is laughing. Because what else is there to do in life? Because the Rigveda says, what else is there to do in life other than rejoice and dance and sing about his glory? And I was reminded about that when Sir spoke about how we should not have a castor oil face. And that is one message I think we should take away in Sivarathri. And the beautiful point he made, which he very quoted, Bhagawan saying, the moon without and the poison within. All your difficulties, sorrows are all, within, and then you're still able to smile outside. Because why spread misery in a world which is already oriented towards misery? Spread light, spread laughter, spread joy outside. The moon and the poison, sir, beautiful message. There are so many discourses I've heard, but this is one point I would have missed if I had not been part of today's satsang. I noticed a very interesting coincidence when Sir said that Bhagawan has mentioned that Shiva bhajans are full of heat. So this, it may be a coincidence, but with Swami, there are never coincidences. It just reminded me, for some divinely strange reason, the first ever bhajan which Bhagawan sang about himself, he referred to himself as Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Aruna Shiva. I often wonder why Swami could have picked up a Srisailam, which is in the own state, but Swami picked up Arunachala, which is in Tamil Nadu, Tiruvannamalai. But I was reminded when Sir was talking about the 5 elements, Arunachala is actually the Agni Linga. And Shiva, Swami says, Shiva bhajans are heat. It's a beautiful coincidence that, Bhagawan says that Shiva bhajans are heat, and Bhagawan himself describes himself as Arunachala, and that first ever bhajan, Manasa Bhajari, which he sang. And I was reminded about that as I was listening to Sir speak. The entire talk, Sir, which Sir gave was lavishly strewn, if I may use the word, with beautiful, seemingly opposite contradictions about our Lord, which are beautiful. The beautiful contradictions, if I may use the word, and let me quote some of them which I was reminded about. The Lord who is the master of Upama, who is also Anupama, who is incomparable. The Lord who is Nirguna, but is also the basis of the 3 gunas. The Lord who is Nirakara, but is also the basis of all Akara. The Lord who is Rudra, but then confers upon us Bhadra. The Lord who is the Anu and still is the Mahat. The more when I was hearing Sir speaking about this, it is so inspiring that, the hair stands. And finally, let me conclude with this. Sir talked about the cosmic dance, the entire universe being the cosmic dance of the Lord. And I was reminded about what Bhagawan would say. I am Nataraja, the prince of dancers. I am Nataraja, the prince of dancers. And then he adds, only I know the agony of teaching you each step in this dance of life. So let me conclude this by praying to that Lord, who is the Nataraja, the Prince of Dancers. Swami, whatever today, on this occasion which is very close to yet another Mahashivaratri was shared, sir, who you have sent as your nimitta, your instrument, your messages which were reminded, which were called to our memory through him, oh Lord, you have taken so much pain, you've gone through so much agony and continue to do that, to give each one of us a customized Bhagavad Gita, which is meant for each one of us. May we always not just listen to this, may the Shravana translate into Manana, may that Manana translate into Nididhyasana, and let us learn and imbibe and practice and live in our life with constant integrated awareness, the jnana, like Sir mentioned, which he's really come to teach us, the jnana, Advaita Darshanam Jnanam, that we are not just his children, we are one with him. We are not his sparks, we are him, we are his very reflections. There is none other than him, and we and he are one. The only thing that stands in the way of this realization is the mind. May the Shivratri be the opportunity to begin our effort towards Mano Nashana, the mind which stands in the way of that jnana which the Lord bestows upon us. Jai Sai Ram.
Sathya Sai Hare Bhakta Jana Samdashaka Bhakta Jana Samdashaka Bhakti Maheshwara Om Jai Jagadish Hare Om Satya Narayana 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 Om Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Jai Sadguru Deva Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana 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 Om Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Jai Sadguru Deva Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana 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 Om Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Jai Sadguru Deva Shanti Shanti Shanti
समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय
परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमार्थइष्टार्थमोक्षप्रदानं बाबा विभूतिं इदमाश्रयामि परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमार्थइष्टार्थमोक्षप्रदानं बाबा विभूतिं इदमाश्रयामि परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमार्थ